Welcome to GI Iron Chef. I'm Sean Gillen. Today, we're going to make a simmus. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the 2020 GI Iron Chef cooking demo. My name is Sean. I have my wife Nicole behind the camera, and today we are in our bar, and what we're going to do is mix it up a little bit. So normally, you would see in the GI cooking demo that you would have your cooking demo, people would taste it, see how it goes, but today, as a Scotsman, we figured it would be very important to incorporate a quick little drink before we get into the cooking part. So, let's have at it. So for today's demo, we are going to break out a drink called Glenmorangie from the Highlands region of Scotland. And just to give you a couple little tasting notes here, it's more of like the fruity aroma, and depending who you ask, some people just say Scotch tastes like lighter fluid, but personally, I enjoy this one. So, before we even get started cooking, make sure we get a proper taste here. So it's always important to what they call nose it, to make sure that you cover the taste buds, make sure that you can smell and basically taste through your nose all of the fruity elements of that. So let's have a taste. Delicious. All right, now that we're ready to cook, let's get started. And welcome to the kitchen. We have our drink in hand, so we're ready to cook. We explored our Scottish ancestry at the bar, so now we're going to move over to our Eastern European roots, and we're going to make a dish called simmus. We're in for a treat today, and if you know me and you know Nicole, you know that we love gardening. So for our dish today, we're going to get every ingredient from the garden. Let's go for a walk. Come on over. Hey, fancy seeing you guys here. As I mentioned, everything today is coming from the garden. So let's take a look around and see what we can use in the simmus. Alright, a lot of tomatoes. Can't use that. Oh, what is this? Huh. Freshly grown prunes in a bowl. We must have picked them this morning. This is the focal ingredient and brings in the sweetness in the simmus. This is a big deal, so we're going to need this later on for sure. Oh, and what's that right next to there? Oh. Orange juice. Must have squeezed it this morning and put it in the container. Another key ingredient. This also brings the sweetness and kind of offsets some of the other items that we're going to find later in the garden. Oh. And look at that. So, here's a couple vegetables. So, think of simmus as like a big melting pot of different vegetables. Root vegetables, you have celery, you have carrots, and a couple apples in here. Again, all from the garden. Who knew? We do a lot of good packaging here. What can I say? Let's look around and see what else we have. Oh, I just mentioned some root vegetables. We have regular potatoes, sweet potatoes, and some onions. So these are going to bring the, let's call it the body of the dish. So this is going to be the core ingredients that are going to make simmus really what it is. And then everything else that we just picked up before is really going to bring texture and different sweetness to that. But I think we have all of our vegetables, but we're missing some, oh, there they are. Some spices. Obviously fresh out of the garden, some salt, some pepper, minced garlic, cinnamon, and honey. I think we have everything. We're ready to cook. Welcome back to the kitchen. As you can see, we have all of our ingredients that we got from the garden and we're ready to make a simmus. And actually, before we get started, the phrase make a simmus actually means to make a fuss. And that's because, as you can see, we have so many different ingredients here, so it's actually counterintuitive. You would say, don't make a simmus, but you're doing it anyway. So, either way, let's get started. Alright, so we have all of our vegetables, our ingredients here, so what we have to do is dice and cube everything here aside from the prunes. Those are actually going to go in whole, but the carrots, the apples, the sweet potato, onion, and celery, all that's going to get chopped up, all going to go in the pan together. So let's get started. now we've cut up all of our ingredients, so now it's time to add in our orange juice and our spices. We'll bring this up to a boil, down to a simmer, and cook for an hour, and then we're ready. So first we'll pour the orange juice, so we need 2.5 cups of orange juice. And this really kind of softens up all the vegetables as it cooks. So we'll do our first cup there. And really brings a nice sweetness to the dish overall. So we'll do our second cup, and then we do a half cup to finish it off. So that's really our cooking liquid that's at the base of this. And then of course, can't go wrong with garlic. So for this, I usually just do a heaping spoonful, and that kind of does the trick. And then before we get to our salt and pepper, we do a lap around the tray here with our honey. So to kind of give it a couple squeezes, make sure it's flowing a little bit, and then we'll just do a lap around the dish, and we'll do another one just for good luck. So that is our honey, and then last but not least, we have our salt and our pepper. So once we have all of those going, we are good to go. And all we have to actually do is cook. So we'll get a couple turns of our pepper in here, fresh ground black pepper. Can't go wrong with that. So now everything is in there. So all we kind of do is take our spoon, mix it around, make sure everyone gets a little bit of everything, some garlic. Make sure that everyone gets a little coated in that orange juice so they get that flavor, so when we turn this on it will soften. And what I did was I took the tray that we can use over 2 burners here, because you see we have a larger tray, so everyone's mixed together. So we'll put the front burner on, and the back burner as well. And we'll put them both on high. When this comes up to a boil, we'll turn it down to low, it'll simmer for an hour, and then we eat. It's been an hour, and we're done. So that's what our simmus looks like when it's done. So let's kind of plate here, and you can see all of the flavors have kind of melded together. It smells great. You're gonna have to trust me on that one. So I'll bring this over the camera so you can eat with your eyes. And that's a simmus. That's our end product. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. That's our take on the GI Iron Chef. See you guys next year.